everybody. Welcome to Friday, May 14, 2021. I'm Vince Russo, and I'm here with the great Billi Bhatti of LockBetting.com. We're going to give you a little sneak peek of what's coming on later today on the Nitty Gritty Dirt Show on Patreon.com/Russo TWC. Billy, what's been going on? You've been having all kinds of problems in the last 24 hours. What's going on, man?
Oh, it's not got much better today. So yesterday, because I'm having these long-term symptoms since I had COVID, they wanted to check me into the long COVID clinic, but you have to have all these assessments first. So I had to go to one place to have like an ECG and a blood pressure test. I need to have a chest x-ray soon as well. And I went in for the easiest part, which is the routine blood test. This girl says to me, where do you normally have your tattoos? And I say, here. So she doesn't like the tattoos. Where do you have your blood tests? So she doesn't want to go anywhere here. She doesn't like it. She goes, oh, I can't really find a vein there. Even though every single blood test I've had has been there and they've been fine with it. So she goes on the other arm. She sticks it in. She can't get any blood, pulls it out. She's tugging this and I'm like jerking. And I can feel like my forearm jerking and jerking and jerking. After 3 attempts, she then goes into the other arm that I said in the first place. She goes, oh, like, we're not having much luck here either. Listen, there's no we, right? I'm just sitting here. You're not having it. We're not having any luck because, like, you're not doing your job properly. And all the bad luck is with me. And it sat with me for the whole day. So, like, my arm is in agony. I say, look, stop. I feel uncomfortable now. I was actually polite and said, I'm uncomfortable. I'm anxious about this test now. I just want to get it done at my own doctor's surgery. I don't mind waiting longer. And this is why I was in agony. Like, so let me stand.
Oh my God. From just getting a needle in the arm. Unbelievable, bro.
Needle in the arm for a blood test I didn't even actually have because I just quit on it because she stabbed me. She's like, okay. She goes, are you dehydrated? I said, no. Okay. She goes, okay, well, we'll find another spot then. I was like, no, we won't. It's like you've stabbed me 4 times and moved the needle around and my arm is now flinching and everything. So I couldn't go to the doctor's or hospital for it because I had to pick up Austin. And then I podcast on a poll and obviously that's time sensitive podcast that we recorded last night. So I decided to sleep on it. I wake up like this, like with my finger out of joint, like, and all these shooting pains down my arm. I go to the hospital today, which messes up my whole day because you have to wait there. So I'm behind on everything that I need to do. To be told, it's not possible that it's not possible that I've done any nerve damage because blood tests don't go that deep. And second of all, I said, well, obviously I have because maybe they're supposed to go that deep, but maybe she's done it wrong. Then I was told by the nurse, there's no way a nurse could have done it wrong. Because they administer like 40, 50 a day, there must have been something wrong with my arm. And there's no way that blood test has caused the injury of the pain in my lower arm. She goes, the only thing it would have caused would have been the bruising where it's clotting. So basically, I waited in 3 hours at the hospital to be told that I wasn't telling the truth about why my arm was clenching. So it's just honestly the worst possible like waste of time and like the worst 24 hours. Just those 24 hours where it's just like pure frustration and just needless, like just a needless situation. A whole routine blood test turns into not getting it done.
Billy, that's why, like, Billy, tell me if I'm crazy or whatnot with all, this all stemmed from Billy getting COVID. I mean, that's what this all stems from. Billy, I have not got the vaccine because, first of all, I've come this far and I've been fine. And number 2, I don't want to get the vaccine and get sick. I don't care if it's 24 hours, 48 hours. I don't want to get something injected in me and then wake up the next morning sweating and having the chills and being sick. Am I crazy, Billy?
I'm not having it. I don't believe that this whole thing could have possibly spread organically around the world like this. And I feel like it was a man, whatever it was. I'm not denying that it exists because I've had it.
Right.
But for me, it's a man-made creation with a man-made vaccination. and I don't know what the long-term plan is of the people that have a lot more power and influence than me. So I don't want to get involved. That's my, you say this to certain people, and they're like, "Oh, conspiracist," and all this kind of stuff. Like, what is someone? I saw some comment today about some sarcastic comment about me not wanting to get the vaccination, but it's like it's everybody's choice whether they get it or not. And the thing is that I'd rather choose not to get it, just purely. Even you can even put it down to the fact that this thing was only devised within 6 months. Yeah, I know Event 201.
Yeah, I do too.
Someone's put Event 201. Yeah, it's the rehearsal for this. So yeah, I know all that kind of stuff, but I'm not a major conspiracist. I just don't want this vaccine. I just don't believe. I believe COVID, but I don't believe COVID is what they say COVID was. So
yeah, no, and I'm the same way, but I'm not gonna. I've been totally healthy and fine through this. Knock on wood, thank God. Now you're gonna shoot something in my arm that's gonna make me sick. Like, really? So, but
that's coming from you, who's like, you had some search, you had that eye stuff. I'm petrified of anything with eyes. Like if my vision regresses, if anything, I had this thing where I was seeing these little black spots for a bit.
Floaters.
Yeah, like everything for me is like, I'm blind. I'm gonna go blind. I just don't want to go blind. I'd rather be dead than blind. So yeah, that, and I anything with an eye, like I can't believe that you go through.
Yeah, both eyes. Hey, Billy, one last thing on the story. Were any of these nurses hot? Were any of them hot or no?
No,
not at all.
No. You don't get the hot nurses don't work for the NHS.
And bro, I had to go jump online because I told everybody we were coming on here at 9 o'clock, and then you ran into traffic, so I had to tell everybody be patient. Billy's a little late. We're coming on, and some very attractive female said, "Tell him to kick all the girls out of his bed and get his ass on the show, Billy." And he really some very attractive looking woman online, Billy.
Oh. Yeah, no, actually that all that happened is not even exciting. It's just literally my day got backlogged and I had to stop at the shop on the top of my road to get some milk and a few bits for Austin for the night. And yeah, we got stuck on these temporary traffic lights. So that's what
all right, Billy, give us a little tease, give us a little hint. What is going on over there in the world of wrestling, bro, that we're going to talk about on the Nitty Gritty Dirt Show on patreon.com/Russo TWC. What's going on? I love the information you gave me last week, bro, because man, it makes so much sense and I can see everything going in that direction. Bro, nobody talks about what you talk about. You know what your mentor Dave Meltzer talks about, bro? Bro, a week prior to the AEW rating coming out, he gives all the excuses why it's going to be a low rating before the rating even comes out, bro. He's giving excuses why it's going to be a low rate. Listen, I said it all along. You know what the funny thing is, Billy? You know what the funny thing is? When all is said and done, NXT and AEW are now on separate nights, right, Billy? They're no longer head-to-head. Billy, guess what? The combined number is the same exact number it was when they were head-to-head. They're doing about 1.6 million viewers on separate nights. There has been zero growth whatsoever.
No, it's not surprising. There's only so much content that people can take. And I feel like any wrestling fan out of habit is still taking in Raw and SmackDown. I don't think anyone that watches AEW is not watching Raw. I mean, they can go online and say Raw is trash and AEW is better. Okay, you may have picked your side, and that may be like the hill you want to die on, like Dave. But everybody watches both. I don't think anybody watches AEW and doesn't know what's going on in the WWE. I could be wrong, and people may claim it, but I don't think it's possible for anybody in wrestling to watch AEW and not at least keep an eye on what's happening in the WWE. So, yeah, it's just not going to be that way. It's not going to be a new fan base. I think I think AEW, I see it as a third brand. I see it as like the equivalent of NXT, and it was always going to be a choice for people whether they took. I mean, some people may watch both via DVR or whatever, but it was always going to be a choice in terms of how much content they could actually take in. So and as for Dave, Jesus, like let me find his story this week.
Yeah, bro, he was making excuses about the big pay-per-view that they had a week prior because it fell on Cinco de Mayo, so it wasn't going to do a big rating. He was talking about that a week before the show even aired. I'm so sick of the excuses, bro. I'm so sick of when they do something that's really bad on that show. Nobody can say it's really bad. There's always excuses. Bro, if something's bad, just say it's bad, bro. It's just, man, it's one excuse after the next, bro.
Get this piece of genius from Meltzer. So this is the #1 source on in wrestling. Apparently, this is the most informed guy. He's cleverer than me. He's cleverer than Vince Russo. He knows more than everybody that's ever worked in wrestling. This is what he said about Eva Marie. The idea is she's a supermodel who worked hard to become a supermodel, and somehow, the idea is she's a celebrity who wants to help other people. So she is a babyface. It is weird. Let me tell you something now. I've watched wrestling for 30 years. Any character that comes on TV and says that they are a role model, self-professed, is never, ever, ever, ever been a babyface in history at all. If he thinks this is a babyface gimmick, like, I think that not only is he not the most reliable source and the #1 guy, I think he hit his head somewhere. Or he's taken something, or maybe he's taken those cups that all the AEW's wrestlers have. Maybe he goes to maybe he hangs out with them down at the clinic or whatever they go to. You know, all those suction cups that they have that takes the dirty blood out of your body. Have you seen this on Omega's?
No, what is this, bro? What is this?
So what they do is, it's mostly like the AEW guys. I don't see it on WWE guys. Is they go down to these health clinics and they put these suction cups on you, and they're supposed to suck out any dirty. They suck out your blood, and then it goes through like a cleaning filter, and they put it back in. So you only have clean blood.
Oh my god! I've not heard of that, bro. I've not heard of that.
Oh yeah, look at Omega's a bad one. If you look at Omega and you see little circles on his body, that's from the blood suction.
So the suction cup must actually, a little needle goes in and sucks out the blood and then how's it work?
I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly how it works. I can look it up. Let me look it up now if you're interested in it.
I've not. That sounds very, very bizarre to me, bro.
Blood suction cups. Here, it's come straight up on Google.
Yeah, Razor Sharp calls it Chinese cupping, and he says he's done it. What is it, bro?
So cupping practitioners claim that it works by creating hyperemia or hemotosis around a person's skin. That means that it either increases or decreases a person's blood flow under the cups. Cupping invigorates local circulation of QI and blood in the area being treated, resolving swelling, pain, and tension. It draws impurities from the surface. It removes toxins. From a Western physiological perspective, cupping loosens connective tissue or fascia and stimulated blood flow to the surface.
Billy, how hysterical is it to you, bro? These lunatics are doing cupping. Why? And when they're not doing cupping, bro, they're bleeding and rolling around on a dirty, filthy mat that everybody else's blood is on. But they're doing cupping, bro, to stay healthy. Oh my God, bro. Unbelievable.
It's just the cup that it's so gross. I actually thought about having this done like during the time where I'd cut. Oh, there's a full back.
Oh my God. But meanwhile, we're going to roll around on a dirty, sweaty, filthy mat and bleed. And that's perfectly healthy, bro, as long as we get cupped. All right, Billy, what's going on, man? Give me some teases of what we're going to talk about on the other side.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about what they're actually doing with Eva Marie's character. We're talking about a plan which was pulled very late from TV I mean, it's a ridiculous plan, and it's not exactly cancelled either. It's just postponed so they can rethink what they're going to be doing with it. It involves Alexa Bliss.
Oh,
we're talking about like a potential split that's happening, and I'm going to give you an interesting story about some of the releases that happened for free. For free, I'm going to tell you that Chelsea Green, before her release, signed a new contract a month before. So yeah, so there was some goings on around this.
Something happened in that month then, because she signed a new deal and a month later she was gone.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was told. So I know the ins and outs of that. Also, we're talking about a new return date as to what WWE are planning to do in terms of a return. It's not actually going to be SummerSlam now. So yeah, that's the main stuff.
Billy, what are you? Let me throw this out there for free. Let me get your insights on this. Any insight? Because now I'm reading Selena Vega is coming back after all that controversy about social media. And you have any insight into this?
Yeah, a little bit. So essentially, once Aleister Black was giving his time off, as soon as he went back, there was like talk about bringing her back, etc. Not collectively, but there was talk about how they would bring, if it was possible to bring her back, and they said the door was open if she wasn't doing her other stuff that she was doing before, or if she would like essentially fall in line with the whole thing.
But you know what, Billy? Here we are again. This is what I don't understand. You know, the talent isn't allowed to make extra money. But now Jarrett's got a show with Conrad. Bro, so what you got to be in you got to be in WWE management to be able to make money through third parties. If you're a talent, you can't.
Well, this is the thing. Like, obviously, from what I'm told, that didn't work out for her. Like, from people that my listeners on the Dirty Sheets, who are who probably watching a lot more content than me, I was hearing like her streams were only pulling in like 70, 80 people for live streams at a maximum of 300. So she wasn't doing the page thing. She didn't have the page appeal. So I think that what's ended up happening is she's gone out on her own. The AEW phone call hasn't come. The being aligned with Andrade hasn't happened. So she's obviously waited to see what happened with that. And if you feel like, Andrade is the hill you're going to die on, and if that doesn't come to fruition, then that's really it for you. That's probably the case. I mean, Andrade's release was probably the tipping point for her, where she turned around and obviously asked Aleister Black to get her a job back. Plus, I mean, you got to think, he asked for his release. They said no because they wanted to have him still on their roster because they don't want him to go to AEW. So obviously, when he comes back, very, very quickly, when he comes back and he's in shape and they start airing the vignettes and stuff, he's obviously asked what the situation is with his wife at home. It just makes common sense. So it's all been put together and it all aligns with the comeback. I wouldn't be surprised either if she's on SmackDown either, because that's where he is. And we see a lot of this. We see a lot of this in terms of them not really knowing what to do with Seth Rollins' character. But what they do know is that Seth Rollins cannot exist as a heel once Becky Lynch is back on TV, especially if they're on the same brand. So what will happen there is as soon as you see Seth moving into a babyface capacity, and I think that will be the summer feud, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I think that's what they're doing. You will then open the door for Becky to return, because Becky won't return onto television whilst you have the issue of, why is your boyfriend such a dick? And
that was the problem the first time around, bro. They did that the first time around and didn't address it whatsoever, and it was very kabuki-ish.
Yeah, so this time you'll see them both as faces when she's back.
Hey, Billy, is Paige still raking it in on social media? She's still killing it?
Oh yeah, like Paige partners up with other video gaming like channels and things, and she does all the collabs and everything. Like, so she's very much got her finger in like loads of pies, and it's unbelievable that she's not fired. So for me, like I said, something happened here. where she has a story to tell and they don't want her to tell it. And this to me is gag money. Like, no pun intended if you saw a video, but this is like definitely like gag money for her.
Yeah, it's very strange. All right, Billy, tell everybody about Lock Betting, Dirty Sheets, podcast on a poll. Go ahead, bro.
I'm going to do podcast on a poll first because I honestly suffered through the show's good. You wouldn't know I was like my arm felt like it was being stabbed during the entire thing. But yeah, I didn't go to hospital last night so that I could do podcast on a poll. It is a little shorter. It's just under an hour, but we still cover all of May. In fact, I think people like to hear that sometimes. I think people are so sick of 3-hour podcasts.
Oh yeah, bro, Billy. That's why I'm in and out, bro, because the attention span and some people drone on for hours and hours and hours. I think less is more, bro. I really do.
Yeah, so it's an hour show. It covers May 2019. It's quick, boom, boom, boom. Talks about Sean and Brett as usual, like the Sunny Days comments on this show. Brett and Sean going overtime is on this show. We talk about the utilization of Sunny. We talk about Pillman after the Dark Side of the Ring documentary and sort of address how he is here in May. If we see any signs of anything, Vince has already spoken widely about how he would wince and how he could tell he was in pain. We talk kind of about the wider issue. Undertaker's in the midst of his title reign. Ron Simmons is talking about how they've never had a black champion. We find out the backstory behind that. Yeah, the Foley and Goldust interviews. There's a lot in May 1997, and that comes out on Monday. Cav is working to get that edited for you now. On Podcast on a Poll Patreon, we have all of the superstar profiles there now. Warrior, Linda McMahon, Sid, Vader, Undertaker Part 1, Shawn Michaels Part 1. And the next part, which is coming out next week, is going to be the Macho Man Randy Savage. We do a counterpiece to counter that very horrible and negative documentary that came out from the A&E. So that's all Podcast on a Poll and podcastonapoll.com. Lockbetting.com. This is the place to go for all of your betting picks. It's still the middle of the month. It's still worth doing. Lots of stuff is finishing. NBA regular season, and then we have the playoffs coming up. MLB's going on, NHL, KBO, the end of the soccer season, and then we have a major soccer tournament in Euro 2021. So there is no better time to sign up. Do your due diligence and go to my Twitter account, which is at SGP Soccer, and look at the pinned tweet, because that will be the spreadsheet from the previous month where we made £3,038, $3,900. The dirtysheets.com is where I put all of my news, and then me and Vince talk about it and break it down. So these little pieces are written up over on the dirtysheets.com Patreon page, and then we break them down here. The Dirty Sheets is my podcast with Cav. That's my co-host on Podcast on a Poll. We talk about the week in wrestling every Tuesday. We may be changing that moving forward. We're actually thinking about releasing our show on Saturday because we do SmackDown and then we do Raw. And SmackDown by then is 5 years old. We think SmackDown's the better show, so we may flip that at some point. So stay tuned for an announcement as to whether we're going to start putting our show out on Saturdays immediately after SmackDown to pay respect to the better show that Vince Russo doesn't watch. He suffers through the other one. And at Austin's Toys and Games is Austin's Instagram channel. He's going to apparently take it really seriously now.
Billy, I lost your audio. I lost your audio, bro.
I clicked the button.
Okay.
So he has his whole setup now. He's ready to go over here. Bye.
Let's see what he's got.
Is that showing up?
Oh, wow. Look at that. That's awesome. That is awesome. Austin's Toys and Games. Very nice, man. They're very nice.
Like one of these boxes. Like one of these Funko boxes, but he's in his own box. But he didn't pick one. He's with the 4 people he wants to be with, or 3 people.
That is awesome, bro. That's tremendous. Yeah, check out Austin's Toys and Games on Instagram. Austin, what's going on, my friend? All right, guys, we are going to jump over to the Nitty Gritty Dirt Show where Billy's going to get into the details. Bro, you get the show for 75 cents a week, bro, and many, many other shows with it. Just go to patreon.com/RussoTWC.
Thank you to Ant Tiles, just to say that quickly, because he's put the Dirty Sheets podcast over. So
wait, say that again. What now?
Ant Tiles here has put my podcast over, the Dirty Sheets.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Dirty Sheets. Check it out by Ant Tiles. And also, bro, earlier, Billy, while you were talking, but Annette said, thanks for calling me very attractive. She was the one that made the comment about kicking the girls out of the bed so you can come do the show. Annette, the very lovely Annette. Guys, we will see you on the Nitty Gritty Dirt Show, patreon.com/Russo TWC.